Welcome to and welcome back Archival session number 14. We just saw Frankenstein, directed and written by Guillermo del Toro, starring Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth, some other people. Um, Before I get into it, I have a little anecdote. Um, I messed up. I was in the wrong seat. So Alamo Drafthouse does do assigned seating, and I was in the wrong seat. I felt bad. So the whole previews, I'm just sitting there like, dang, I'm in the wrong seat. And lucky the guy is really nice, and he was just like, hey man, it's okay. I've done it before too. So we just switched. We were the same seat numbers but different rows. So he just went one behind. He seemed cool about it. So yeah, that was definitely on my mind a lot before the movie started. But the thing with this movie, you are immediately thrown into this world with a prelude into this film. I'm going to read the tagline. Dr. Frankenstein, a brilliant but egotistical scientist, brings a creature to life in a monstrous experiment that ultimately leads to the undoing of both the creator and his tragic creation. Guillermo del Toro, I don't know when's the last time I saw one of his films in theaters, but this is a reminder that he's one of our great directors. He's one of our directors that you're giving him an assignment. You know, he wrote this script, so he had a vision, and this vision feels executed. The actors had plenty, I mean, plenty of, material to work with because each emotional beat that goes through in this film, if you feel the weight because the actors are in the movie. Like we are in this world of Frankenstein. I really enjoyed this, and I I'm kind of surprised because I hate Netflix. Truly, I do not like Netflix. I feel like they are one day away from just making fully AI movies because they know their bottom lines just they don't care. And not to sound like oh man, but they're not one of the legacy studios where you still gotta have some integrity. And Netflix is still the new player, so they're gonna take some risks that I just don't agree with. Uh, so I'm surprised Netflix gave Guillermo the money, they gave him the budget and the time because this movie indulges in itself and in a good way. Like this movie takes its time. Like we are moving through at a great pace, like at a pace that it's not too fast, not cutting corners, and everything matters to the story. So I'm actually wondering, like, what was the original cut? 'Cause this is like 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I couldn't even imagine if, like, what else he could have cut. Um, so I commend Netflix for not having a heavy hand. It definitely didn't feel like studio interference, but also if I watched this at home on streaming, I think I would have not finished it. I definitely would have watched it in increments because this movie, like I said, it feels long, and I'm so glad I saw it in theaters because when you watch it in theaters, my phone's away. You're not looking at notifications. You're not going in the kitchen, make a little snack. You're not, oh, let me use the bathroom real quick. You're more inclined to sit and just, lights are dim. You're in the filmmaker's world. You're in the actor's performance. You're just more in it. And I don't think it would have felt the same at home. Also, my speakers on my TV are pretty trash. So I definitely would have not felt the weight of certain scenes. But this movie, I really, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then the thing, let's like go through all of my thoughts. Oscar Isaac, I know he's a talented actor, and I've seen him in some really good stuff, but I don't think I ever really watched any of his films in theaters. And when I say an Oscar Isaac film, like the movies where he's the lead, like I saw Star Wars and like other stuff, like yeah, he's in it, but he's not the lead in it. And those movies are a little more just they're not something where you can show your acting prowess. But this movie, you get to see like he's yeah, he's amazing. He's actually really amazing. There was never a point where I was like, man, he's not bringing it. Like, he was bringing the energy. He had the comedy. He had the madness. He had the obsession. Like, everything worked. I liked how they styled him. Like, especially when he's in his laboratory, like his clothes are disheveled and like he's just in it. It's really good. A really good performance. And another good scene too is, first he's kind of self-serious, but then there's a scene where him and Mia Goth are in a confessional, and that's a good comedy scene. It kind of shows their chemistry immediately too. Because at first Mia Goth, I'm always half and half on her. Sometimes I'm like, she's kind of flat, but in this she was really good at being like, back then like women just had to be modest and quiet, but she was good at still hitting her lines and her points and still maintaining that like posture and this like correctness, but still feeling like a person, not just like a robot. And I think that scene of them two like kind of bantering with each other works. And also, like, Oscar Isaac's character is just really thirsty for her, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm good, bro." Like, the whole movie's kind of like, what if he just would have slept with her? Maybe he would have not created Frankenstein. I don't know. Well, created the monster. Um, yeah, that was interesting. I like that little dynamic. And then we get the whole montage of him creating the machine, um, and putting together Frankenstein, the monster. Um, it was grotesque, but in a way where it felt fake though. It wasn't like grotesque where you're like, okay, like you have to look away and get squeamish. Like he has this cadaver on the table in this pose with it is kind of like an artsy pose, and how the skin it looks overly pinkish, overly red. So it makes you like, okay, I'm not too like squeamish or graphic, but it's done in a really artistic way. And then we get to the creation of the monster. I'm not going to lie, straight off the bat, I hated the design. I was like, okay, this looks like the Prometheus aliens, the creators. It looks like just mangled. I was like, kind of whack. But that's where I got to give Jacob Elordi the performance, because I might have not liked the design, but his performance was, like I said, it takes its time. We see, this monster go from just saying Victor and being kind of abused by its creator, but then he strikes up this relationship with the family, like especially when you get the story from his perspective. His performance really is good. His body movement, how he was talking, like I was like, okay, so Jacob Elordi's not just attractive Hollywood actor. He actually, has a little in him, and I hope he doesn't go the Marvel route and does less films like these, because now I'm like, okay, I like this. I like what he's doing in his performance. It's really good. I know he's in that Wuthering Heights movie, and I think that's gonna be a train wreck. But hey, Jacob Elordi, I'm in your fan club, man. You're pretty good. That was really good. Yeah, his performance was really well done. And I'm glad this movie took its time because, like I said, like you feel the weight of each moment, especially when we get to our climax, which is like really, the movie is so long. The climax really comes like the last 20 minutes of the film, because all that time we're just developing, learning our characters. We're just being with them, watching the monster. We go from two perspectives. We go from the perspective of the creator, and then the perspective of the creation. And I think that really works. And then when this movie gets to this end point, it is touching. It is touching when, he says goodbye to his father. Like, it really worked. That's when you're like, okay, yeah, Guillermo, great. The script works. But at the same time, if I watched it at home, I think I would have been like, this is boring. But being in theaters, being on the big screen, having the speakers, lights down, you're focused, it all works. This movie really does work. And I enjoyed my time with it. Yeah, Frankenstein, 2025, written and directed by Guillermo del Toro. Um, this one was good. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the performances. Oh yeah, then parts of me made me think of Van Helsing because I love that movie, and I was just like, man, we need more movies where the scale is large, and it didn't feel like they were cutting corners with the set. Like they didn't. I mean, they probably used volume to do like the background, but when we're at Victor's laboratory, it's like this huge dip in the middle. Really great design, and I was like, okay, I'm liking this, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think I would have felt that if I watched at home. So if you can watch this movie in theaters, because it is good, and I think it'll be a better experience watching in theaters than rather than watching at home. Because if you watch at home, you are going to pause it, you are going to walk away, and I don't think it hits as much that rather than just being in theaters watching it all the way through. So if it's playing at a movie theater near you, watch it because it is good, and it definitely was a better experience. So thanks, guys. What movie's next? I don't know. I think what movie is next? Actually, my ticket just showed up, and I'm like, oh god, I was in the wrong row. I felt bad. I think I'm doing Predator next. I am excited about that. You know, David Trachtenberg, he's been killing it with these Predator movies, especially with Prey, Killer of Killers. So I'm even though the movie's PG-13, I don't like that, but I do like the director and writer. So, you know, I have a lot of hope going to. I do have high expectations. I'm sorry I have to say that, but I do. So, Predator Badlands next, and oh yeah, I think I'll have a guest. So we'll see. See you guys next time.